Hello, my name is Kevin Wayner, and today I will be presenting my project on the impact of fiber optics. The current date is Monday, May 7th. But for this website, I coded in HTML and CSS to create a website about the innovation of fiber optics. You can see here my innovation shows fiber optic light being distributed as well as me and my brother and sister. Now we take a look at my abstract to give a quick preview about what my innovation project is about. And then you see the table of contents, which lists the different sections of my website. So as we go through, we'll start with the effects and impacts section. So this discusses the effects and impacts fiber optics has on the world. This says to explain one beneficial aspect of fiber optics. It talks about the high-speed internet with not difficult setup that fiber optic can provide and why it's used by so many cable companies across the world. That brings us to our next question, which is what impact fiber optics has on society. You may not know it, but you see fiber optics every day. Fiber optics is a part of our daily lives. It strengthens the TV signals or the telephone calls or the emails you send or the Google searches you have every single day. A lot of the most popular telecommunication networks, like for example Verizon, use fiber optics. For D, it says to indicate one field other than computer science where fiber optics has made an impact. That field would be the telecommunication industry. It's the norm now for television cable companies to use fiber optic cables to transmit their signals. So these show some images about the importance of fiber optics. Here is some of the most famous uses, popular uses of fiber optic cables. And then here below, you see the hair-thin fiber optic cables providing an example. Now we'll go to the video. If I click this link here, it brings us to the video about fiber optics and how it works. This video gives you an in-depth look of how fiber optics operates on a daily basis. And I found this through research on YouTube to find videos that gave a concise answer to how this innovation works. Next, we'll look at my data section. So it asks how the innovation consumes and produces data or transforms data. Data is a huge part of computer science innovations, and there's so much data coming in that we'll get to in the second question. But the first one is describe how the innovation consumes data, produces data, and transforms it. Information in fiber optics is transmitted through light pulses that are incredibly fast, creates an electromagnetic character wave that the data is transmitted through. The device that's transmitted is known as an LED, or light-emitting diodes, which produces incoherent light through a glass cable that gets from wherever the signal is coming from to your home. So for the second question, it's describe at least one storage concern or privacy concern with this innovation. Cybersecurity is a large issue in today's society, and originally fiber optic cables over their counterparts copper cables seemed to be untappable and much more safe. However, in the past few years, they found that the amount of fiber optic cables there are now stretching miles and miles is just so hard to protect all that data. Now taking a look at the purpose section. The purpose of fiber optics is to provide a cable network with higher bandwidth and can transmit data over longer distances at faster speeds. Fiber optics makes it easier for the telecommunication industry to operate. Now, we take a look at the text section. The first question is to describe how a user interacts with the innovation. The user doesn't directly act with a fiber optic cable in a physical sense. Most of you don't even know that fiber optic cables are important in your lives. But every time you search something on Google or make a phone call or switch your television channel on the remote, that's fiber optics operating. Second one is to describe in detail how fiber optic technology incorporates abstraction algorithms, program, or the internet to accomplish its purpose. Fiber optic technology coincides with a lot of concepts that fall into the realm of computer science. Those light signals have information specifically coded inside of them upon being triggered to transmit the messages through the glass cable. Inside the glass fiber cables, they're engineered to have faster internet speeds. Lastly, we'll look at the references section. So like any project, I had to cite where my information came from. These are 3 very important references that allowed me to accomplish questions A through H. We'll take a look at the first one. This site is by Bradley Mitchell and it was published just 2 months ago. It talks about the role of fiber optics in computer networking. As we go through the website, we can see how it mentions how cable television, internet, and telephone systems are supported by fiber optic cables. It also shows how they work and the advantages of them, which gave me a lot of necessary information. So going back to my homepage, that is all for how fiber optics are an important innovation in our society and how I use CSS and HTML coding to add these pictures. As you can see on this page, my banner that I created, and on this page, my animation that I created using Pixlr for this project to accurately represent how fiber optics operates. That is all, folks. Thank you for listening to my project, and I hope you learned about fiber optics.